Unnecessary intro song to totally waste your time. So I think about Iryna Zarutska and how she was murdered on that train a lot. I can't get it out of my mind. I don't really want to get it out of my mind so much. I mean, obviously, I'm repeating it all the time because I'm using her profile picture, her picture as my profile picture. Because, and I said it that way because I don't want that story to just get forgotten. It's so harrowing, and even a couple of days later, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. But I don't want to. I don't want either one of those things to just get forgotten. We have an amazing way of coping with life. And, yesterday's news, our pain, scar is over, and we kind of forget about things. But anyway, there's been some interesting, unexpected things that have happened and things that I've learned from that event that I'm going to share with you that aren't typical. And that is related to me changing my profile picture to her profile picture or whatever, one of her pictures, When it first started around, I think I changed it probably after Charlie Kirk's death. I don't know, but I think I did that. I think I changed it to her picture because I didn't want people to forget about Iryna. Charlie Kirk's assassination totally eclipsed that story. And so I changed it, but all of a sudden I was getting these friend requests, and I didn't even attribute it to, like, back when I was famous Mr. Nude Photographer guy, San Francisco darling, I get friend requested every day, a number of times a day, and lots of messages from nice people who liked my art and all that stuff. So stupid deluded me. And I was making posts about Charlie Kirk and making these tapes, and it was a dramatic moment in our history. So these requests that started coming through, I just started, accepting them and thinking, here's me. I'm thinking, this is good news. People are hearing what I'm saying and they're liking it. I'm using it as a barometer to gauge how people are, reacting to the Charlie Kirk thing. And I'm using it kind of as it's restoring a little bit of my faith, because I would just see these people and they're normally just kind of lefty San Francisco people. I thought, oh, cool. So maybe all the lefties aren't so bad. They're friend requesting me. But then started coming the threats, right? One guy who I knew had been over my house, and he threatened me. He said, people in San Francisco, they know where you live. Do you remember how weirdly emboldened Charlie Kirk's assassination was? I mean, of course you do. You remember how they celebrated, but it wasn't just the celebration. It was that they took the opportunity to go after people who were grieving. Like they couldn't just leave it alone. They couldn't just be like, celebrate his death. But no, it's an opportunity. People felt emboldened. It's like, we got one of theirs. Now let's keep the ball rolling. It shows you how momentum goes. So there was a couple of instances of people using momentum. I unfriended a lot of people that I couldn't believe that were so callous, celebrating, blah, blah, blah. You were there, you know it. But so then I started going, okay, now when I blocked him after his, implied threats, we know where you live, I started checking people out because I thought, oh shit, maybe people are trying to become my friend because he's out there reporting that I blocked him. Here's Merkley likes Charlie Kirk, he's a fucking Nazi. But I have most of my posts besides these recordings are they're for friends only, So I started thinking, oh, maybe they're friend requesting me to find out more about me, looking through the drapes. Oh, shit. But then But then I got one request, like maybe like the 10th request. Just somebody said, some dude was like, hey, I don't mean to be too forward, but you seem really interesting. I'm thinking, I am interesting. I got a lot of things going on. I'm back in the city, a little bit about myself and whatever. I'm thinking, okay, this is kind of like an older fan message, not too uncommon. But then he's like, I have a boat. It'd be really cool if you want to come out on my boat. No pressure or whatever. And then I'm going, this is weird. This sounds like a date proposal. And this will show you how dumb I am, how slow I am. I finally realized, oh shit, these people are friend requesting me because they see her picture. They just see her picture. They go, ooh, who's that pretty blonde lady? And I look through all of them, and I start clicking through, and I start saying, oh, all of these, every one of them. And so I just started sending messages. Look, I'm a 58-year-old dude. Iryna Zarutska was murdered by a criminal who was let go by Democratic judges over and over and over again. Now she's dead because of these stupid liberal policies. And of course, most of them just went silent. They deleted their own friend requests. They didn't respond. Almost nobody said, I know. One guy did. One guy was like, I know, it's terrible. But even if I couldn't gauge whether or not that was the reason why he friend requested me. But it just happened a lot, a lot. And looking back, all of them, they were all friend requests. And there's a number of things that are interesting about that. First of all, about how dramatically different it is to be a man on the internet and to be a young woman on the internet. If you're a pretty young woman, you're going to get friend requested all day, every day, for nothing, because you got to remember, the only thing these people can see of my profile is that picture and the tape recordings, these recordings that I post. Lord knows none of them listened to a single one of them, because if they had, they would have heard my voice. But they didn't. Pretty picture, friend request. Pretty picture, friend request. Pretty picture. And that first date one that I was talking about, there were a number of them. There were a couple of them that came through as dates. And I at one point I thought, I should change my profile picture back to my own. And I thought, no, I want to keep it as hers, just because I don't want it to go forgotten, But then it kind of happened again yesterday. Again, it's another story about how stupid I am. A guy sends me a message. He goes, are you an artist? And I send back, who's asking? He goes, I'm an artist. I write songs every day. And I think, oh, okay, that's what I do every day too. Maybe this guy knows about my ping song game. But it's the same story. I forget because I'm stupid. I go, yeah, I write songs every day. Here's the one I did yesterday. I said, show me your latest. He links me to some song that he made. Terrible. It was just an awful, dumb song. Sorry, mine was probably dumb too. But he goes, is that you singing? And I'm still dumb as hell. I'm thinking, yep, that's me. Thinking, ready for somebody to go, oh, you're a pretty good singer. You're not so bad. But no, he was just like, that's when he figured out, not a pretty girl. And then after his responses with his other thing, he goes, I won a Grammy. I wrote a song with Ziggy Marley. And I click through and I look at all his things. Can't really find the Grammy about the Ziggy Marley song, but I just go, oh, I see what happened. You thought I was Iryna Zarutska. That woman was murdered. Same thing, murdered by a guy who was let go, a number of times. And he goes, oh, okay. But this is what I'm learning. The saddest part about that is that most people don't know who Iryna Zarutska is. They don't recognize her. We do. Our little right-wing bubble. We know who she is. But All these other people, they don't know. She's just a pretty girl. She's still alive. You can still friend request her. No idea who she is, you know? I said to the last guy, the guy from yesterday, I said, the interesting thing about this is that you think you have a shot with a 21-year-old Ukrainian model, because he's like mid-40s, kind of fat, not good music, just kind of bad. But again, that's another thing that I learned through this is white dudes aren't doing this. Okay, they're not the ones that are sending messages. Almost without fail, they're Indian dudes, as was this guy, Indian dudes, Mexican dudes, Latin dudes, and almost all of them are either doing music or doing DJs or party promoters, The confidence of these guys. You click through and you go, man, these guys think that they could land Iryna, these DJs. These DJs with almost no posts of their own, on their own walls, just like typical DJ party, come to this dance thing. Here's my DJ set. I don't know. It's weird. This isn't a big surprise. This shouldn't be a shocker, I'm sure there's hundreds of men out there that actually are, I think, faking it. Like, I think half of the Instagram models now are, AI accounts run by dudes. I think most of the scammers out there that say they're women are dudes. Because why wouldn't you if you're doing that? If you want the clicks and you want people coming to you, just put a pretty face. And the dudes come a running, I could have probably had a scam going with these guys. Oh, your music's really good. It's fantastic. I love it. Wow. Send me some other stuff. I'm having a hard time. They look at my profile. It's 5,000 people, Most of these guys, like I said, it's not like they clicked through or listened. Anyway, what am I saying here? It's just interesting is all, I guess. It's kind of sad. I mean, the part that's kind of a little bit sad for me is that the white dudes aren't even taking a chance. Like I've asked myself, why is it after like 50 different requests, there might have been like 2 or 3 white guys, and some of those I suspect are Jews, Like, where are the white guys? Why aren't the white guys taking their shots at Iryna, Zarutska? I don't know. My suspicions are the Me Too movement, they're just a little bit more. I mean, the Me Too movement happened, and, there was a couple black dudes too, but it didn't scare away. The only people it scared into different behavior are white dudes. What does this say? Does it say that they're cowards or they're less manly? Maybe, or does it say that they're more respectful? They're more likely to listen to you when you say, hey, I have boundaries. Okay, I won't send you the first message then. I won't go out of my way to friend request you, Because Lord knows there's as many white dudes out there that are connected to my friend request. You probably see on Facebook, you see that recommended. I'm sure that's how they saw them. Because most of the people friend requesting me have 10 to 50 friends in common. So they see the suggestion, they go, I got an in. I've got 50 friends in common. But the funny thing is none of those people recognized my name, They just saw the face and they thought, friend request. there you go. Well, too bad, guys. That woman was murdered by somebody who was probably not political at all, but who was on the streets because of some people who shared your politics. You know? She's dead. She is off the market forever. Because some guy who you'd probably defend and probably get upset and totally angry at me saying anything about the guy who killed her, you'd probably call me racist. But they killed her. So, and you don't even know about it. You don't even know about it because you're in your bubble. You're in your DJ bubble. Friend requesting girls that are far out of your league. Or maybe they're not. I don't know. What if I was Iryna Zarutska? What if I wasn't dead? What would I do? I probably wouldn't be on Facebook, let's be honest. I'd probably be on Instagram. And I'd probably have, I don't know how many millions of followers or any followers that she had. Maybe 10, maybe she stayed off the internet entirely. I don't know much about her, but I know that she was stabbed in the neck and left to die. Well, a bunch of bystanders didn't help her at all. A bunch of people who hate white people just stood back and watched her bleed out and die. You know? And I watched the mainstream news just ignore the story. And now I felt the actual effects of nobody knowing who she is. You'd think that everybody would know her picture. You know, but no. If you're going to parties and going to DJ gigs, you've never seen her face before. And when you see it, you just go, friend request, I'm going to take a chance. Anyway, that's enough on that subject. Thanks for listening. Unnecessary outro song to totally waste